July, feeling so fresh.
Feeling good.
All right, Midlife Krisis back with another what maybe will become a monthly Let's Play. I don't know.
It's honestly fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean this genuinely. For me to just sit here, have no idea what you're about to put in front of me. I don't know if this will live up to Dennis. Is Dennis a part of this?
I cannot in good faith tell you that anything we're ever going to do ever is going to live up to Dennis.
Flopping around on that bed. Yeah.
In a lot of ways, this could have the spirit of a Dennis.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be.
I tried that trick with my wife and just rolling around on the bed
very
excitedly.
Didn't work.
Like, hey!
So no baby number 4 for you, huh? Thanks, Dennis.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah, okay. All right. So a couple questions for you, my man. Do you know what this is?
I'm guessing that's a Jaguar controller.
Well, that's cheating because there's a Jaguar right there.
Right. Well, either that or like a really old cell phone.
So this is an aftermarket Jaguar controller that some hero basically went and had made. This is the Pro controller that Atari released in like the last 48 hours of their company's history. We are going to be playing Atari Jaguar today here on the program. So now I can't sit here and tell you that the Jaguar is good.
Good start.
Yeah.
Way to sell the bit.
I can't. I'm not going to lie to you. The Jaguar is the Jaguar, meaning like either you love it or you've never heard of it or you.
It's a 64-bit processor, Brian.
So
they made sure to let us know that.
If you do the math. It is 32 plus 32, which equals 64.
Right,
and that is a lie. That's a lie. It doesn't work like that at all. We can get into that as we test some of these games. But let me ask you, have you ever touched a Jaguar before?
Yes. The one other time I've touched a Jaguar was when you first bought a Jaguar in your mid-20s and said, Robbie, play the Jaguar
That was Jaguar number 1.
Yeah.
I'm on my 3rd.
So, right. So you've had 3 Jaguars and I've had 2 Jaguar experiences between your 3 Jaguars.
There we go. Yeah. I think that lines up swimmingly. Thank you very much.
I've been in actual Jaguar cars more than I've played the Jaguar gaming system.
That's pretty cool and obviously true. So this plucky little thing that is beloved by a small group of weirdos, and I'm among those weirdos. Yeah. So it came out this was Atari's last home console, not counting the new VCS, that's a whole different Atari. I'm not going to poop talk on it, but I'm just saying there's a difference. There's Atari of old and Atari of new. Yeah. And this is the last gasp of Atari of old. It was marketed as a 64-bit console.
Do the math.
It is kind of not at all a 64-bit console.
It says it's 64 bits, Brian.
It does.
They wouldn't lie.
It's literally printed on the machine.
Yeah, it's on the machine. It says right there.
So the way this worked, there's 2 32-bit processors in there. They're called Tom and Jerry. Yes, as in the mouse and the cat. And then there's a Motorola 68000 in there, which is the main processor for so many things, like a Genesis. Neo Geo used that processor. A lot of old computers used it. And what happened was a lot of developers for this thing just saw that 68K and said, oh, hey, I know how to use that thing. I'm just going to port my Genesis game over to your crappy Atari, and then no one will buy it anyway, so it doesn't matter, and I'll still get paid. So there's a lot of Jaguar games that are just like Genesis ports, just straight up. But there's several Jaguar games that actually kind of went the extra mile and use a little bit of the hardware as best as it could. So the reason why I love this thing and why I've bought 3 Jaguars and 3 collections in my time. It's so hard for me to put into words, but I'm just attracted to this ugly thing. I don't know. I don't get it. There are good games, and my point of this is I'm going to try to show you the good games of the system.
How many are there?
Depends on who you ask. I'm going to be a little bit because I am biased, and I do enjoy this thing quite a bit. Some of the bad games I think are kind of good. And then there's some of there's good games that I think are unquestionably kind of good. Although you're a different breed of cat. I
was going to ask you, what do you think I would think are the number of good games?
I mean, how many good Wilson Phillips albums are there?
4.
But then there you go. I think we're gonna get a third of a dozen here out of this. Is my guess. So the Jaguar. Let's talk about this weird ass controller first. So I've showed you my aftermarket Pro here. I have this other one, which is even cooler. This is an original Jaguar controller with a dial attached to it. You see that sweet dial? So that sweet dial right there is so that you can play Tempest with an actual dial like you do, like Tempest is made for.
Wait, sorry. Does that dial? This is the controller that came with the system.
So imagine that this big chunky dial was missing, gone.
Okay. Yeah,
that's the original controller.
So the dial is aftermarket.
The dial here is aftermarket.
Okay.
It was installed by, and I'll use the term hero again.
Yeah.
It was installed by a hero out there.
Right.
So Tempest 2000 was made by Jeff Minter. It's one of the games I'm going to have you play right now. Do you know much about Jeff Minter at all?
Maybe. No.
So Llamasoft, he created Winamp.
Oh, I've heard of Winamp.
Okay.
He also I used Winamp into the 2010s.
Okay.
So.
He's still making money off of Winamp. He's also really famous for making these super druggy games. Like basically his whole deal was, I want to make a game where when I take acid to my game, it's going to rule. And so all of his games have that look to it. Most recently, he released a game called Aka R, which was an Atari game that was vaporware, never came out. Jeff Minter picked it up and he finished the game and released it. Jeff Minter's also, I think, in his, I want to say 60s now.
Really?
So he's been making games longer than we've been alive.
And he's got all this Winamp money, so he can continue to.
And he lives on a llama farm.
I was going.
That's real. The whole Llamasoft thing is a thing.
Am I correct to assume then that he just made enough money to retire off Winamp, and now he could just do these little passion projects?
I think that's safe to assume that, but he, but back in the day, like when Tempest 2000 came out, like he was a name. Like and there's other games that he's done that you probably have heard of, Polybius. Which is it's one of the people I've only played a little bit of it. Would love to play more. Really hope it gets ported to PSVR 2. But a lot of people who are into VR will tell you that that's one of their favorite games and one of the most impressive uses of the tech. Which, when you see some of the stuff that he made back in 1994, you'll be like, oh, okay, I kind of get that.
Right.
So that's a game I'm going to show you. We just did a couple episodes. We were talking about PC games. I'm going to show you the only port of Doom that was handled by id Software themselves. And that's a big deal too, because this machine was sold on Doom. It was the first home release of Doom.
Yeah, that's
right. And if you wanted to play Doom and you didn't have a PC, you bought yourself a Jaguar, which like 10 people did. So there are, speaking of rarity and all that stuff, the figures out there are not super well maintained, but they made somewhere between 250,000 to 300,000 Jaguars, and they only sold 150,000. So
what a catastrophic failure!
Half of their stock was like literally in a warehouse. So I got my first Jaguar through a company called Go Atari, which was the first time I ever bought anything online ever. And I sent you'll love this. I sent a envelope with a money order in it.
Surprised you didn't send cash.
Please.
With a little post-it note.
Don't open this, thieves. So I sent a money order to this dude who ran Go Atari, and the story was that he bought the warehouse that had all this old dead stock. So he just came into owning thousands and thousands of sealed Jaguar games and systems that he would sell to people like me at a low price. And what's funny is I'm sure that guy has got to be kicking his ass now if he still paid any attention to this stuff. Because now, as most things in video games of a certain vintage, a Jaguar, just the system alone, is like $500, and he was selling them brand new for I think $50. But again, this was like 20 years ago.
So when, I'm sure you probably have the minute, but when did the Jaguar come out? When was it released?
It was holiday season of '93. That's important, and thank you for bringing that up. That's important. When I show you some of this stuff, I need you to try to, and I know this is difficult for you because your sickness is you need to play games for trophies. My sickness is I need to play old stuff that I never played when I was a kid, and that's where that's where our psychoses kind of line up there.
Are there trophies in this game?
Sure they are. Yeah.
Just gotta find them.
We'll find them. We'll find them. The reason why I got a Jaguar when I did back in like 2000 was just because I didn't have one when I was a kid, and I could get one, and I did, and it was great.
So holiday '93. Mm-hmm. So holiday '93. The N64 is still 2.5 years away.
3 years away.
3 years
September
away.
of '96. Yeah.
Okay, and
PlayStation's not out.
Okay.
Saturn is not out, although
Saturn was close, wasn't it?
Saturn's close. It comes out in '94.
Okay.
The famous E3 shadow drop of the Saturn, which was probably the first stake in the heart of Sega.
So we have 32X right now.
32X is not even out.
Oh
so the Jaguar, there's a period of time where you have on the market, you have Super Nintendo, Genesis, NES is still releasing new games at that time, although not that many, obviously. And then the 3DO was the other expensive, future-y thing that was out.
Philips CDI?
CDI is out at that time. Yeah. CDI comes out in 92. But even what's funny is like people laugh at the Jaguar, and rightfully so. But it's better than the CDI. Come on!
Yeah, definitely better than the CDI.
It's better than the CDI because I'm going to show you at least 3 games that are good. And I don't think there's... And I'm sorry for all you CDI lovers out there, all 2 of you. But.
The CDI didn't have 64 bits of processing power.
No, it didn't. It did, however, have 2 hour-long televised infomercials. So that's the way to sell it.
And it was in Best Buy kiosk. Correct. Not Best Buy, Blockbuster Video.
Yes.
Blockbuster Videos everywhere. But I'm not even sure if Best Buy existed yet. But I played it in a Blockbuster Video and thought it was the wave of the future.
That's so cool. Yeah. I watched the infomercial like every chance I got because it was amazing.
By the way, single-handedly got me into golf, playing the golf.
Really?
The CDI golf games.
Perfect.
It's like, this golf game's great.
Okay, so let's enough of this. I'm going to give you the guest. I'm going to give you this cool controller.
All right.
Because we're going to start with Tempest. So what I have in the Jaguar is called a Jaguar Game Drive, which is a flash cart. You got it. Oh, you got it. There you go. So I'm going to make us appear here while we do this. So we're down there. I'm going to carts, and the first thing we'll do is...
this controller.
That, dude. So I'm going to let you play first with Tempest. It is very sensitive. You do have to kind of get a feel for it.
I feel like you should just be playing Breakout with...
So, and I'm going to... So I have a... Funny you should mention that. We are going to play a Breakout clone in a minute here. So here's Tempest 2000 made by... Oops, please don't push any buttons.
Okay.
Thank you. We're off to the races. Here we go. Into the tease. So yeah, this is every commercial Jaguar game released here.
Wait, which number is how many?
I think it's in I want to say 65.
What a catastrophic failure of a console. My God. I can't believe it itself.
Well, the
a million units.
32X I think had like 30 games on it. So if that's your base.
Well, but you can think of the 32X as an extension of one of many extensions for the Genesis. I mean,
you did have to plug it into a Genesis to get it to work.
And this was like $400 at release.
No, it was not. It was $249 with a pack-in.
To get 64 bits of processing power?
Exactly. It's a good value. You're right. Thank you for keeping up. Okay, so we're going to go in here. So now what's special about this dial here, let me see your controller real quick. I got to make sure that we have the options set up for you. This is rotary. Very good. And I have to do that here. So Jeff Minter loved the original Tempest. He didn't make the original Tempest. Just Tempest 2000, 3000, and 4000. Okay. So in order to enable this controller type thing, it's actually a code you have to do. So this wasn't, So, and it's not hard code. You just plug in 2 controllers, push option. So P1 joypad, that's good. And you're set to rotary there on 2. So that's set. So Atari had designs on releasing their own rotary controller, which that obviously it makes sense. They released paddle controllers on the 2600 in the 70s.
Yeah.
So, and rotary, not a lot of people have a lot of frame of reference when it comes to rotary dials in their games because they just don't make those games anymore. But if you grew up in the 80s and you played Arkanoid on NES, that thing came packed in with a rotary controller. And it's just a fun, cool way to play games, in my opinion. And they don't do it too much anymore. So just start and you know what? I think I have to do. Wait a minute. I'm blowing it here. I'm blowing it, gang. Did I do? Oh, you can't even see that.
It's a great console game.
Would you stop? Did you just stop it?
It's like I could see the 64 bits.
they're all there. No, again, like you're a. Yeah, I messed up. That's fine. We're still in it. I have to reset the unit here. But check this out. Follow me here. Watch this.
Okay.
So in your dumb Super Nintendo, you had to get up and you had to reset. Not the Jaguar. I'm sitting on my couch. It's 1993. I'm pushing those 2 buttons.
Oh my God.
The
future is now.
I've reset the console from my couch. Are you ready to apologize?
That's right.
Thank you.
Can't do that on Super Nintendo.
No, you can't do that shit on Super
don't.
Nintendo. Yeah. Atari DD. I'm so sorry. So this is just traditional Tempest. Tempest 2000 has like more, and I'll put that on single player. I'm going to take over that dial in a second because you're horrible. But I wanted you to try this out. Do you see how fast it is? So you need to shoot. A button is shoot.
Oh, I was pushing the C. Oh.
That's okay. So you can kind of get these guys in the pocket here, and like they'll literally walk into your bullets.
No, okay, I figured it out. Now I'm going to play better than you.
Yeah, oh, totally. That's how that works. Okay. So how does that dial feel? How are you feeling on that dial?
Feels good.
Yeah. You're damn right it does.
Yeah, no, I'm changing my opinion about the Jaguar by the second.
Yeah, so Tempest 2000 is definitely one of the, if not the best game on the Jaguar, I would say. Although it's not exclusive anymore. It was ported to the PlayStation and the Saturn.
Wait, that is what this is? Tempest 2000?
You're playing Tempest 2000, yeah. It was released on the Saturn and the PlayStation as Tempest 3000, but it's the exact same game. And neither of those versions can you play with a sweet rotary controller like you are.
So this is the best version.
This is
the best game on Jaguar, and I'm playing it the best way with this dial.
And I would argue, too, it's the best version of this game, too. Which they don't make a lot of tube shooters anymore, and that's what these Tempest games are called, tube shooters. But damn it, is this good. Stun Runner is another one that was made by Atari back in the day. That's a good tube shooter. Have you ever played Tempest before?
Never.
So what made Tempest very special when it came out originally is that it's vector monitored. And all of the lines that you see here were done as vectors.
It actually is impressive for, I mean, what year did this game come out? 94 maybe?
This was 94, yeah.
So for 94, this is pretty ahead of
Tempest
the curve.
2000 is the top selling Jaguar game, too.
So the best game that came out for any Super Nintendo in 94 is probably Donkey Kong Country, right?
Yeah, depending on who you ask, but certainly sales-wise, that's a damn fact.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 3, I guess, was also that game,
Yep.
probably. So this is, clearly like light years ahead of
if
actual 3D.
If at the time, which was the time, you didn't have anything to compare this to, you had just Super Nintendo and Genesis, like you would see the Jaguar, and you'd be like, oh wow, that's pretty neat. We'll wrap this level up, and then I'll show you 2000, which is so powerful. It's unfortunately not 2 players. You'll see some of the neat graphics. So I'm going to take this over. You're done, pal. Did you? I reset it with my hands. I'm going to point that out again. Jaguar difference. There you go. So we'll go to 2K here, Tempest 2000. And I'll use a key so we can get further along. I'm at level 29 here. So then you'll start to see all the psychedelic stuff that Jeff Minter was famous for. Is famous for. He's still doing it. He makes psychedelic crap.
A little bit of acid every day while he codes.
He's a microdoser.
Yeah.
So as you can see, the board there is now, or not the board, the tube has Gorod shaded things, and I've been fried.
The 3 seconds.
The 3 seconds.
You got more life.
Well, I'm in level 29. This is hard. Okay, it's hard shit. So yeah, do you see how as I rotate around the tube here, how the shading changes? Do you see that? Do you notice it?
You mean just the coloring on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's totally revolutionary. That's Gorod shading, which like wasn't being done on anything. Even, I mean, you could probably find like a really obscure PC game that did this, but
well, does it change? Does you moving make it change? Okay.
Yeah, because you're moving the perspective. You're moving around light, so that's why the shade in the color is moving around. I'm doing awful here, by the way. So I'm not playing with a dial. That's what it is. That's what it is. Eat galactic death. So yeah. Anyway, this is the 2000 version. No 2-player mode. But it's T2K. It's great. So I'm gonna do this. We're gonna go here.
That actually is a genuinely good-looking game.
And it's if you sit down and play it, I own a Jaguar. I play it a lot. I'm telling you, guy, it's a good time. It's a good frickin' time. So as I said earlier, this Doom port was the first home port of Doom, and it was handled by id directly. I'm going to take you to the first area, since you probably know that so well.
I can map it.
Yeah. So, okay, a couple things I want to bring up about Doom on Jaguar. And got a little bit of a spaghetti mess there. Here you go.
Oh, I'm playing. All right.
So the levels in this game, the level design is actually different. Yeah, like it's not all the way different. Like there's certain,
a little bit different.
And there's things about, there's actually like I can't remember how old it is, but someone had been reverse porting the Jaguar Doom back to PC, just because it's interesting. Like there's stuff there's novel things in this game that no other Doom port has. And you and I aren't listening to this right now.
Yeah.
But one of the things that you can levy criticism against Doom, and it's fair. I mean, the Jaguar port of Doom specifically, is there's no music right now. Yeah, the only time you hear Doom music is between the games.
Oh man, the original Doom music is so
no, it's
rockin'.
great. It's great. But what's funny is that John Carmack, obviously, the head programmer at id, had I think 6 months to do this, to port Doom to Jaguar, and he just for the amount of time that they gave him and the amount of know-how that they had about developing on the Jaguar at the time, he just couldn't figure out how to make the game run as smooth as it does and play music. But there are people right now, and I don't use this term lightly, okay? But there's some heroes out there. There's some heroes out there
again, aren't we?
that are working to put the music back into Doom on Jaguar.
Don't imagine that.
Well,
oh my God! Imagine that community.
It's happening.
It's you and 6 people in a GeoCities web forum.
Well, here, that's not wrong. None of that is wrong.
I'm looking for someone who has a Jaguar with Doom, knows how to program better than or as good as John Carmack, and has an interest in putting just the music back into this game from 30 years ago.
And all of those things are happening and are true. I'm going to blow your mind a little bit with some Jaguar triv, guy.
Okay.
Those precious indie games that you love to be emotionally affected by.
Definitely. Yeah.
I would argue, and maybe this is a flat a paper thin argument, but indie game development wouldn't exist at all if it wasn't for the Atari Jaguar. Huh? You say? So here's a history lesson for you, champ. In 1996, when the Atari was dead, they sold all of their IP to Hasbro at the time.
I remember this. Yeah.
Hasbro, for whatever reason they had, made the Jaguar this was a choice. This wasn't accidental paperwork filing or whatever. This was actual choice. They opened up the Jaguar platform, just let it. All their development stuff was just made public, and so anybody who had access to that material could start developing a game. And we're talking about 1996. So fast forward to the year 2000. In year 2000, I'm a diehard fan of Die Hard Game Fan Monthly, and there was a section, and this is why I bought a Jaguar. But there was a section in the back that's all about hey, do you guys know that there are Jaguar games being made? Because there was a company called Scatologic that made a game called Battlesphere that was networkable, 16 players, and it's an awesome spaceship, fully textured 3D polygons. The Jaguar was networkable with this thing called the JagLink or NetLink, so you could connect 16 Jaguars together and play a insane fucking Star Wars-esque space battle in this game. All of it was made DIY. It was all independent people. And that one game started this community of homebrew developers that have been making games for the Jaguar since 1996. And all these cute little, I'm being a little dismissive, but all of these companies that now make games for NES, for Genesis, for Super Nintendo, and there are many. I know that's not your world. You don't follow that stuff. But there are many, many, many independent companies that are making games for these old platforms. None of that would have happened if it wasn't for the Jaguar basically being a pioneer in that, an unintentional pioneer in terms of indie game development. So if you go back and you look at the history of small boutique companies basically kicking a door down, the platform that had that happen the first time was the Jaguar.
That was a good history lesson. Can I complain about this game a little bit?
I mean, if you want to. I don't know why you would want to do that. If you want to.
So first, it's not that easy to control with the D-pad. Second, the B button shoots and the A button opens. No,
C button.
The C button opens doors, and that doesn't really make any sense because you're shooting a lot more than you're opening doors. So the shoot button should be the closest to your thumb instead of the open door button. Those are my.
So the open door button is that's a dual purpose button, friend. That's also strafe, where you would want strafe to be next to the shooting button. So take that.
Well, they should be reversed.
This guy.
Yeah, I beat the level.
Woo!
Okay.
So that's Doom on the Jaguar. I'm gonna shut you down here.
I was just getting into it.
Well, you said negative things, and that really upset me. So you're done. So here's your intro. Whoa. Now I remember seeing that title screen in game magazines at the time, and just being like, "Well, we've done it."
Well, and
not
that
gonna
is
get any
really
cooler
cool
than that.
because Alien vs. Predator and Freddy vs. Jason, before those things actually showed up on cinema, was a talked about phenomenon.
Well, Alien vs. Predator was a pretty prolific Dark Horse comic book series. Freddy vs. Jason was just one young boy's dream, really.
I think more than one.
Yeah, definitely. But I enjoyed it as well as my peer group did. So let's check out the Marine because you have more upfront options. You're gonna see right away like the choppiness, but again, if you are capable of looking at this game through 1993/94 eyes,
you can be the alien, you can be the predator, or you can be the Marine.
Yeah.
Who would knowingly pick the Marine? Like, I want to be that loser instead of the fucking predator, or the alien.
Well, so in truth, the Marine campaign has the most stuff going on, and is kind of the funnest of the three. If you want to beat the whole game, though, you got to do everything. You got to, so you can already see the it's a little sluggish.
So that's I'm gonna say that's 21 frames a second.
No,
maybe?
it's sub 20 for sure. That's like 10 to 15.
Oh man, yeah.
But the gun and the hand look badass, right?
Okay, so this is a ROM, but this is a fair reflection of the experience you would have if you had the Jaguar and you actually paid money for this game back in 1993, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a problem.
I mean, it's no Stunt Race FX, Robbie, which you've liked to talk about how forward thinking that game was. Certainly not that. Oh God! Get him! Do you see that? So, and what's cool? Check this out. Alien blood. Totally hurts you.
Acid,
yeah, they nailed that detail.
Okay, but then wait, does that death model disappear so you can get through there?
No, you can get through there. You just get hurt, and no, the bodies stay on the ground. The whole deal. So yeah, this is admittedly a tough game to enjoy today if you have no context for it. But just look at the light on the top, the texture of the ceiling.
Yeah.
You see how it has like that glow to it?
Yeah.
Now that's obviously just like, pixel. It's done by an artist, but it's kind of effective. It looks like there's rudimentary lighting going on.
That's true. Yeah. Probably all 64 bits were used on that.
Every one of them. Not a single bit left on the table.
for the frame rate.
Yeah. And I believe we're back in the beginning here. So one thing that has always been difficult about this game, it still is it's pretty big, and you kind of don't know where you're going. I think there is a map. I'm gonna mash around on this giant keypad.
Actually, it looks Wolfenstein-y.
There we go. So you have this map.
Okay.
Which really doesn't give you any detail. It does show you like what areas you've gone to.
Yeah, that's okay.
But the problem is, you see these little nubs over here?
Yeah.
Okay, see beyond the little nub there is a room. We know there's a room. So if you're just farting around and you're looking at the map, you wouldn't know. So you literally have to go and explore every square inch of the space
cranny,
to get the map populated.
Well, that's what you needed for the platinum trophy.
That's big
fine.
Time.
that's all fine by me.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'll complain the least about.
Totally. So yeah, this game it hasn't aged as well, but it's still for people in the Jaguar community, and we are legion. People still talk about AVP and love AVP.
All six of us.
All six of us. I'm on a subreddit.
In that forum. You're on the Jaguar subreddit.
Come on, of course I am.
How many people are in that subreddit, Brian? Tell me the answer, and I'm gonna look it up. You're gonna be wrong.
No, I'll just look it up because I could pull it up right on my phone. It's one of my more frequented subreddits that I go to. Actually, don't have my phone.
Well, I've got mine.
There it is.
Is it /r Jaguar?
I believe it's /r Atari Jaguar.
Yeah. Oh,
and let's see. We can do this as a race. This is a race to get to it.
Oh.
So you can get there first. Okay, I'm gonna go there. And I'm gonna go here.
I'm there.
I'm gonna go in my top, my favorites.
I'm there.
It's 1,695.
You beat me.
And 5 people, including me, right now, are online.
Really, what I said? You and 5. Well, you and 5 guys who are active.
Yeah.
A total of just under 1,700 subscribers to the
Hey, buddy.
subreddit.
New post as recently as 5 hours ago. Okay.
And what is that post from 5 hours ago?
A Y splitter for the Jag CD. Has anyone bought a Y splitter to power the CD console? Yeah, of course they have. Of course they have, you mark. All right. You know what? You don't deserve 4 Jaguar games. I'm giving you one more. I'm giving you a game that the reason I'm showing you this game now is for you to shit all over because it is notorious.
The best part about the Jaguar experience so far was looking up the statistics for the subreddit community.
I can see why that would be your favorite part. That makes sense. All right, so I'm going to go to carts, and then I'm going to go down to Club Drive. This is a 2-player game. We will attempt it. So Club Drive is one of the more notorious Jaguar games. It is in multiple publications have called this the worst video game ever made.
Oh, hey, that's got my attention.
You may recall as an old fart, Sean Baby.
Of course.
He did a whole thing shitting all over Club Drive, and that only made me want to buy it even more, and I did.
So is he right, but you like it anyway?
No, this game's terrible, but it actually does do semi-interesting things. That doesn't take away the fact that it's terrible.
Does that say 1999?
No, it's 94. So we're gonna go to Jerome's pad. Okay. Figure it out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna crash my blocks of polygon into yours. You're it. Nope, you're it.
Top or bottom? My top or bottom?
I think you're bottom. We're in a room, by the way. We're tiny little cars in like a living room. The dial is nothing now. Your D-pad.
Okay.
So I am it. I have to crash into you. So what's really cool? Yeah. Don't worry about it. You'll know exactly where you're going.
This is like a Jackson Pollock painting.
You literally, most of the time you don't know if you're up or down in this game. Like you just have no idea your orientation.
Oh man, I'm so offended by this.
Why? Dude, it's awesome. There are people that swear by this game, but there are people who swear by a lot of things.
But no serious person says like this is a really good game.
No, people do, and then specifically they think that this is the fact that you're racing around in like a house is innovative. This mode, if this were more playable, the idea of playing like a tag racing game is fun. Oh, you won! You got that trophy, Robbie. You got a trophy. Yeah. See, you're happy again. Let's try that one more time. Now you're it.
Okay.
I'm out of here. You ain't gonna get me. See this right here? I'm gonna drive into this, and all of a sudden, I'm elsewhere. Are you just gonna pop out at me? You're stuck in brown, it looks like.
Am I? Oh, yeah. Oh.
Go for it. It's so cool. You're literally stuck. Because you can't see what you're doing. So there's a radar in the middle of the screen.
I see that. I can't. How do you reverse? See? I can't reverse. I can't do anything. There's just a brown screen.
Reverse the C.
Brian, I'm having a bad time.
No. On Club Drive?
I'm having a really bad time.
On Club Drive?
Okay. Oh, there we go. Let's back up. Okay. This might be the video that gets us to 1 million subscribers.
Oh, it definitely.
I'm feeling pretty good about
It's the Club Drive. Fuck yeah, I won.
Oh.
Take that.
So now we got to do
Take that, jobber.
No, but best of 3.
Okay, best of 3. Best of 3.
Get more content.
Yeah.
Okay, this time. Oh, you're it? Okay.
No, you're it.
Oh.
This is my secret right here. This game is actually, like, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. But I am going to say, like, if I was playing with someone who could, be as good at Club Drive as I am, this would actually be pretty fun.
Oh, I actually
see
you.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'm coming.
No! I'm out of here. Whoa! Oh, shit. Damn it. I'm getting you. Oh, this is the easiest get.
No.
You're stuck.
I'm not stuck.
You're stuck.
I'm running.
You're stuck!
This game is so awesome on the tension.
I'm gonna get you.
A true game
I'm gonna get you.
Of cat and mouse.
It really is. With mouse holes, too.
Oh. And I just went through one.
Yeah. Damn it.
Now you don't know where I am. And I'm looking at you. I'm mocking
you. You should touch me with your car.
you. No.
Just see what happens, dude. Science.
I'm gonna win the best 2 out of 3.
Not on my watch. Lost you. I've completely lost you. It's over now.
This game's pretty awesome, Brian. Maybe you should just keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes! Oh, God! Take that, you chump. Ah, no! Short-lived. A short-lived victory. And nope. I lost you. You're gone. Like a ship in the wind. Here we go. You got it. You snuck out of there.
Man, I love it. Have I ever told you how much I love the Jaguar?
Me too.
What a great system.
As it turns out.
Yeah, you did convert me.
Good. I'm glad. If you, so it's a simple, cheap buy-in. You can have all the things that I have. It's like $2,000 to $3,000, and you'll be having the time of your life. It's all 64 bits of it. So I'll think of something else that I like that you don't. That I'll make you play the next time.
$200 per bit.
Yeah. It's like Kobe beef. It's worth it. Okay, so a Jaguar. Thank you for watching Jaguar. And
go buy Jaguars, everyone.
Go get a Jaguar. Straight up.
Give me a minute. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy. Back with another Laserdisc review. I want to first apologize for the condition that I'm in. I made I forgot that I was taping, and I don't have a lot of SD card space. So I pushed record and then went to the bathroom to go take a shit. And when I was done, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot I'm recording, right? And so I came out too fast and I slipped on an Amazon envelope because they're slippery. And I think I hurt my neck pretty bad. But that's not gonna stop me from giving my opinions about great Laserdiscs that I want to share with the Laserdisc fam. Whoop! So today, we did a lot of Van Damme movies, which are obviously all perfect movies in every way, and they all got pretty high scores, like into the hundreds of thousands, basically. Oh! So we decided to change it up and go with the Laugh Riot Cabin Boy. Let's do an unboxing. Woo! It's a paper one. We love the paper ones around here, right, gang? Let's take a look. Oh, my hand, I can't feel. Here we go. Wiggle CD, right? It's part of the Laserdisc magic. I'll try and put it back. Oh. Oh. So, Cabin Boy. Oh. Right off the bat, I gotta mark this movie down. Actually, quite a bit. I will say first off, when it comes to the what's written here, It says the movie is fun, and hilarious. Cabin Boy starring Chris Elliott. Outrageously wacky high seas adventure as well. So, do I agree with fun? Yeah. Do I agree with hilarious? Yeah. Do I agree with good? And that's where, sadly, I'm going to have to take a step back and be truthful with the Laserdisc fan loop. This movie has zero fucking spin kicks. It's got zero fucking two Van Dams together on the same screen. And it's got zero Van Dam doing one of his fuck. I'll try. Van Dam, when he goes, I can't do that. I gotta know my limits. So anyway, Cabin Boy is fucking stupid. It's awful. It's fun and hilarious a little bit. Wacky high seas, a little. No kicks. It's not good. I need. Thank you for watching. I'll get better, hopefully. I don't have any insurance. Subscribe, please, and like it. And I love you. Oh, God. Oh.